Hi everyone, Jeanette here with Vivo Vintage Designs. I'm painting this photograph that was taken by my friend Michael on a tile. I'm using it as a reference photo. And this tile is about 8 inches by 8 inches. So I'm applying 2 different shades of blue and a little snow cap, and I'll be using a brush to move the ink around. I was in a hurry. Normally I would have moved the ink around by tilting the tile, but I had something in the oven upstairs, so I wanted to do this quickly. So I used a brush and I used my dryer. And I like the way it turned out. And now I'm using my dry palette to create the trunks of the trees. I'm using a dark shade of brown. And just to let you know, it's not shown in this video because I didn't do it until after I finished the video. But afterwards, when I looked at the painting, I felt that my trunks and my branches needed a little bit more definition. So I took a Micron pen and I defined my trunks and darkened some of my branches and added a lot of detail with smaller branches into the painting using a Micron pen. So what you see at the end of this video is not the finished painting. So I'm sure you've noticed I haven't been around for a little bit. I've been working on making malas, and I had a very large order and it's now completed. But I'm also in the process of cleaning out my basement because I'm hoping to have it finished beginning in January after the holidays. So I realized that I'm a little bit of a pack rat. I used to paint furniture before, used to refinish and paint furniture. So I had a lot of pieces of furniture down there that I did not sell or I never got to. And fortunately, I had a lot of takers, so I was able to give a lot of it away, and other pieces I just got rid of. But it's been quite a process. And once everything is said and done, I'll have a new art area and it will be very nicely organized. So I'm really looking forward to that. But it's going to be a while before we get there. But I'm glad that most of the hard work, of cleaning out the basement is done, and now I have a little bit of time to paint. I've missed it. So to create the trunks, I used my dry palette, and I used a shade of dark brown, as I mentioned. And to create the branches, I used a smaller brush. Now you can also create the branches using the Micron pen. Later on, after I finished this video, like I said, I went in with the Micron pen and I created even smaller branches and added details and darkened some of the ones that I did with the brush. So the inspiration for this painting, as I mentioned, came from my friend Michael, who is traveling the coast with his girlfriend in an RV and is posting such beautiful photographs. So I plan on using them as inspiration for future paintings. In just a moment, you'll see that I begin to highlight the tree trunks. And the way I did that was by putting a little bit of alcohol on a brush and using it to remove some of the paint, or rather some of the ink. Okay, here I'm trying to give you a better view, so bear with me. Okay, so here you can see I'm removing some of the ink to create some highlights in the trunks. Very simple, just got to be careful not to put too much alcohol on the brush. It also gives you really nice texture. So now I'm about to create the foliage for the tree, and what I did was I used a stamper, my Ranger stamper. I took a felt tab and I cut it in half because my stamper is rectangular and I thought it would be too big. So I just cut the felt tab in half and I added some green. Now make sure if you're using a stamper that once you add your ink to the stamper that you blot it on a piece of paper just to make sure that you don't have too much ink on there, because once you put it to the painting you can ruin it if you do. Now it might be difficult to see in the photograph or the picture for this video the detail that I added with the Micron pen. So if you want to see the completed painting, you can take a look on my Facebook page at Vivo Vintage Designs and you'll be able to see the details there. So I attempted to add some dark colors, a mixture of brown and black, to the top of the foliage with the stamper, but it wasn't working out so well. So here I'm using almost like a stenciling brush, and I'm making sure that it's not too wet. But I just wanted to add some dark into the canopy for contrast. And the brush seemed to do a good job. Then I went back to the stamper and I added 2 other shades of green. Unfortunately, I never remember, I should pay more attention, but when I'm painting, I'm in a zone. I just grab colors. I don't pay attention to what it is I'm grabbing. So, of course, use whatever colors you like. But I added 2 other colors, or shades of green, to the stamper for a little bit more contrast in my foliage. And now I'm just trying to thicken up some of these tree trunks, straighten them out, and add a little bit more detail. And there you go. There's the finished painting. Thanks for watching, everyone.